10,000 schools nationally. You go and take 3 schools and report the mischief makers. For example, these schools you are talking about.
Yeah.
When did they become bad?
You haven't let me ask my question.
You know what I mean?
Let's quickly ask a question. Perhaps you can put it in the center. It's about the area councils
Yes.
who are supposed to be responsible for primary education. Do they also have the mandate to build these primary schools? Are they directly under them? If they are, do they have the funds to do so, or are you intervening as Minister of
I will not answer why they have the force. First of all, I told you the primary school is a responsibility of local government councils or area councils.
Which aspect of it? That's part of the question.
No, but
Is it the software, which is salaries of the teachers, or building of the school?
the same. They cannot do this and do this. So, however, most of the schools have been accredited are being carried out by the FCT. Because we believe that yes, it is their responsibility. Again, if anything happens, nobody will talk about that. Just like when the teachers were on strike. No girl on strike. It is not FCT strike. But we further look, teachers on strike. What do? It is not that secondary school teachers are not on strike. People should have that in mind. The tertiary education under FCT, they're not on strike. People should know that. Now, what also they go and to go to the gate of FCT, carry children, stay there, we're at home to try to embarrass the government and to talk. No, just blackmail. We have come to intervene severally. And what's the intervention? The force they are having, they have said it's not enough. Remember, the increment and the minimum wage affected them. Now, if a local government, area council take, for example, one is getting maybe in a month, 300 something million naira for the allocation. And then he gets IGR, their own share of the 10% they get. Assuming they get like 2% in billion, that 2% billion is shared among the 6 area council, but not on equal basis, based on your own contribution. So, assuming we were against additional 150 billion naira, or 200 million, this case may be, then plus to the 300, 500 million. What's the salary structure? It's the salary of the state of Bamana for teachers and the government staff. It's more than 500 million. But if you expand that, what other money do you have to carry out other services? That's why there's a problem in our federal system, where you go to the headquarters, to the capital, and negotiate for minimum wage for states, not local government councils. What is the capacity of this area council or local government to be able to pay? And look at what it says, employ. It's a fantastic business. When you say university, we have over 55,000 workers. How do you justify it? 55,000 workers doing what? However, you can't test the industrial process. If nobody talks about the funding, where would this money come from? FCT area councils are not like other local government where you have one for oil producers and what you only do is remember what comes to the FCT is 1% of the allocation of federal government. So if the federal government, for example, gets in a month 800 billion from the share of the inflation account, what they will pay to FCT is how much? 1% of 800 billion is how much? 8 billion.
So understanding, just a moment, just understanding the challenge that the area councils are facing, particularly in that area of education, because I can see that you're making some intervention efforts. Would you say that you would declare a state of emergency in the infrastructure around education, given just how decrepit and how long a backlog it's been?
Declare a state of emergency to achievement.
At least, will I say, decent infrastructure in the area?
No, you didn't declare. See, this is why that's why I put it. Someone who says is a senator representing FCT. When tested is you want to invite them, what job have you done? Not really. As a senator representing the FCT and members of the House of Reps who are the FCT should make a special claim for the referendum. This is the capital of the country. Let me finish. There must be special provision for the federal country. It's not like that.
You're in a good place to make that request.
No, no, no. That's why, as a senator and member of the House of Reps in the National Assembly, just start from there. Let people understand that yes, you are really speaking on their behalf.
Have you approached the senator to work with her?
Yeah, I don't need to approach you. You went and said you want to go to Senate. You want to say you want to go to House of Representatives. Therefore, you should know the role you should play. It is not only coming out of national television. It's not inviting me for commission of project. It's not inviting me for us to have a drink. That is not the job we're talking about.
Image when it comes to the education sector in the FCT. You had mentioned that mischief makers are portraying the fact that you're not putting so much attention on the education sector in the FCT and you're building bridges for showmanship. And you said that you don't publicize some of these works that you have been doing in the education sector due to the size of the projects as compared to the roads and bridges that you have been doing. Don't you think, Honorable Minister, that perhaps putting more attention or some certain level of attention on the education sector, on the works that you're doing there, would help your administration shut these mischief makers up?
Mr. Mischief Man, you didn't say the level of work we're doing is not the problem. I'm saying probably because we have not gone to commissioning. It's not only commissioning that you can publicize to.
Do you have plans of commissioning anything, perhaps collectively, anytime soon?
In fact, I did say that finally this is you are picking people. And the Monday secretary will take you around for one. And then you now see what you have done in education. And then you guys speak to the people. You have to send it there. All right. Right. You have to send it. Do any publication or what.
All right.
Maybe you ask them it.
Maybe we should leave education and go to something. Oh, I suppose.
But again, I will also say, I don't see really a rational person. Somebody who has no mental problem. They say that building bridges is a human. I don't understand that. You don't understand why do you go to school when there's no road? Some of you have complained that taking your children to school is a problem. Something that will take you 30 minutes will take you 2 hours. And the government has come to say, no, this can't continue. It has to be not even that 30 minutes, it has to be reduced to 20 minutes. Now you pay the showman to show. The people will provide the entire schools to be good without roads. What do you do?
All right. We have so many issues to cover, so let's leave that and move to something else. I suppose.
Let's not die. Ignore that. You've been making progress now. Structure, things like that. But what of the healthcare in the FCT? It's not that if you also concentrate on the hospitals and all, the residents will also be happy, don't you think so?
In terms of work, what did you want to do? What did you want to do?
Because
They should do.
no, like I know there are some councils that don't have general hospitals
Was every council have a general hospital?
or specialist hospital, for instance, rather than them coming
Is it,
down.
is it a problem in Nigeria?
If you just want to answer what you are doing,
So I'm coming.
in the health sector.
So take for example, but the politics we play in this country are so bad. In as much as I want to provide access to education, we don't want to talk about quality of education. Everybody wants to university to be his community. Nobody has asked. These two universities you are provided, what's quality? You are interested, let there be university everywhere. With no quality. I would prefer that not three universities for instance. And then you can talk about the quality of the university, the schools. Now we'll do the same thing. You've not talked about in terms of general hospital. I don't know why anybody should think that within 2 years of this, if we provide general hospitals in all the area councils. That is not possible.
At least
The same you're talking about the warehouses, hospitals. It's the proper equipment that's supposed to be there. Today, we have planned to reconstruct the there was primary general. But everything go and see the doctor's quarters, the mess. Go and see the work that we're doing there. So like I said, this is just 2 years in office. It is not possible for you to turn around all the sectors. It's not possible. But that does not mean any sector should be neglected. We are not neglected. It's just the transport system. It is a chaotic. We are trying to see what we can do to put it in order, which was started. But I appreciate the program that we have. Like I said before, things were so bad. And so the government has come. Let everything be seen now. And I appreciate the fact that because you are saying we are doing well, and therefore you believe in it. We should have done well in everything. No, no. We should take that government does not work that way. The government must be focused on targeting that. From this period to this period, this is what we want to do in this area. From this period to the other period, this is what we want to do in this. That's how government is supposed to do it. Not just police.
I just hope the honorable minister understands what we are trying to do here, which is to reflect what the people say. The more you give to the people, the more they ask for.
Today we should
Especially when we just
so answering. So let the people also hear
what you are doing.
what we are doing, and this is the way government is supposed to do it.
That it could be as a result of, because it would appear, and in fairness to you, you are not shy of interviews. This conversation you have every month is regular and it's steady. However, people will say that your mandate secretaries should be out there taking questions, taking concerns, and explaining to the people as well what exactly is going on under their mandate.
So we're satisfied of briefing them. Until when the mandate secretaries brief them.
Sometimes people will just want to hear from them on different.
No. You have your time to go to them, ask them questions. You will not advance us in terms of public activities, in terms of interviews. You read newspaper, hear what the mandate secretary says.
so does your office, supervise this mandate secretary?
This is very unfair. If you ask me whether my office supervises that very much unfair. And how will I sit and approve form? You know me very well. I sit and approve form for you to utilize. And then you're asking me if I supervise. Do I look like somebody who will sit in the office In fact, I have a very unfair position to say if I supervise my commissioners.
Education very quickly. What is so wrong if you stamp your face with perhaps one commissioning of a school project? We have seen you with so many roads, so many physical projects. What is so wrong if you do commission one school project?
The truth is that we're going to come. Okay.
From that commission, okay,
I
go
promise you
ahead.
too. Even what you want.
It's me.
No. You know what I mean? You.
Submission.
What I mean, you. I'm speaking on behalf of them because of the pressure they want. I have not said okay. Satisfied them. Satisfy you at the question. We tell schools. So the Sanitation, tell the commander secretary, tell the protocol to seek up a payment. Well, of course, we won't do the ones in town. We have to go to the rural land. Yeah. So be there. All right. Okay. Yeah. So and two, we won't do it live. Yeah. What will we not? Because you know where I'm going to. We don't benefit from the ones.
Let's go to something different. Not every minute. About 2 weeks ago or so, you signed an MOU for the Abuja City Walk. Uh, we understand that the Abuja City Walk is patterned after the Dubai City Walk. For those of us who don't know what the Dubai City Walk is all about, say us, Abuja residents, would you like to give an insight into what this Abuja City Walk brings to the table?
Yes, let me tell you. Let me tell you this future. What we find. You know, I said leadership is key in anything you are doing. We're privileged. We're privileged to have traveled. Most of you too would have traveled. And then when you go to some of these cities, you see them. You say, wow, what is this? What's difficult that we cannot replicate our cities to be like this? To give it, that yes, this is what investment is all about, and then what grows economy. Then we come back home and even to social city or verified city. And even to the other city, verified city. What makes it fine? It's a city that you can find everything that will improve the lives of the people, that make things easier for the people, and then will improve the economy, will create job. So what's wrong that it's not applicable in your own place? And you have the opportunity to also tell your people what we find in that area can be done here with the right leadership. I don't know whether you've been to the Dubai City.
I'm not.
No,
I've been to Dubai.
no. No, you something yourself. Get to
Explain that.
get to the Dubai City until when I got this proposal, it's been a government. Still coming with all kinds of proposal with the portfolio and put a PowerPoint and present. I'm not a friend of that. I want something. Yes, you are serious. Yes, it can work. You need to come and fake in our mind that this and that. That has been the case all the time. So I reflected. I went to Dubai and I went to Dubai City. It's a place where you find everything. Everything. Everything you talk about in life. It's not only where you talk about the rich man. No. Schools are there, all kinds of business, but see how people. And so they got the idea. So when they came and said, what is the problem is uniqueness. And they said, no. We've had this experience. We've had that look, they have 18 billion kids. they have 10 million tons. At the end of the day, you don't see anything. Rather, they take their property or your land, this case may be, to go to bank and collect fruits. When I was trying to say it has happened. I don't want to mention them so that the person will also, I want to mention television to embarrass him. A businessman. We have to bring down a popular cultural center for the purpose of, at the end of the day, not to happen. So when I became governor, I wanted to take back. It became politics. In fact, the person went out to start saying that because it's a job, so this is what I'm doing what I'm doing. Wait, madness. You just stay away. But, so that you don't call this, that's very, very important. So when they came, they said, listen, what do you want? They said they want social and social place, and they're going to divide it in phases. So time limit. They said when they want to go back and then come back and see whatever. And I said, no, we're ready now. We'll take you to where we think. All those who will involved with the companies, the land, the director sovereign, the director development control, the director regional planning. So yes, we moved down to the place and I'm very happy. So okay, what do we do? When we have the design you want, the director development control, I don't want to hear bureaucracy. Sometimes I'm trying to, sometimes you didn't pay this, I don't want that. And I told them, bring the drawings, take it, and submit it to the development control, tell them the charges. Within 24 hours, it must be done. And it was done. And they paid the fees. Now, it's okay. There are two plans. A plan of plantation for them. However, if in this first phase, you are not able to complete the first phase or achieve it, the law reverts back to this automatically. Not where you see people are applying for mass housing. 10 years, nobody's doing mass housing. 10 years, they are dividing and selling the land. Look at the problem we had with the park. You know where sunrise is? Sunrise. You know, we think of that. Claim Fair City give them 500 hectares for housing. For how long? Instead of them to develop the houses, people started dividing them, selling. When I came on, I said, no, this is not right. If it's to sell land, government could as well sell the land and make money and develop the city. What a on the television, social media, I'm fighting neighbors. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. It's the country where you are in. Now, and this investment, which the people have signed, that so-called Abuja Technology Village. Yes, who owns Abuja Technology Village? If you see the corruption, Abuja Technology Village is the baby in that city. That city provided the infrastructure for more than 20 years. Go and see litigation. It's not been of it. 20 years. Nothing has been done. 20 good years. You go there, they have entered there, you see where tankers. And I put tankers, they couldn't buy. You see somebody to pass it, they couldn't. My God. So you see, so many people are not claiming of having CFOs. I said, I can't understand this. They said, okay, I don't want to solve this problem. There's no point having that technology. So when this people that came, politics started. What is the politics? The boy who said is the acting, who made the accident? There's nothing like that. We have given 200 hectares, we signed a memorandum of understanding that they have to do the first phase of this, the Abuja work. And if it is not done, we are saying that Mr. President is going to do his 30th anniversary this year. And they have promised that they are going to complete this first phase. And if, if this first phase is not carried out, the line refers to us. There's no problem. Significant. Because it's for social place. Because they now started writing, oh, that investors have come with 650 something million euros. This came now because of this investors. Meanwhile, you have rented all these lands. I said, no, we'll not accept that. Remember, when Mr. President directed that we should renovate, all the Tata Conference Center, which is a very international center. Somebody went to court that he was given that to run. He pays to FCT 50 million naira a year. And you and I can attest to the whole place was like that. When we shut down the place, politics came. Hey, one senator called me, oh, why can you do this? How can you do that? I said, what did I do? Oh, this man is my man. I said, yes, there's nothing wrong. But as a senator, as a citizen of this country, who runs this country, are you happy if that is the International Conference Center, that you host international bodies? You want to watch? I ignored it. It's a property. It's not your property. And look at the money we spend. Look at what it is today. You are paying off 50 million naira a year. You are paying off consulting billion in a month. What is you are paying off 50 million naira a year? So what I'm trying to say, you see, if you don't, it's a leadership you require, people may not like it. People may not like it, but it has to be done. So now, what we're doing now, in that place, if somebody said he is going to put, it's good. That will not stop us from going on to bring such a project that will change the face city, great employment.
I was just about to ask you the benefits, what we're hoping to benefit from.
First, they should not building the structure. We need to do one. Can you clear? First, we don't say that. You are putting a hall. We have so many facilities to pay. Here you spend over $1 billion. What invested $1 billion in our economy? What benefit do you think you would have? So many things. Look at the constructions of what will be. What the economy will change. Somebody is telling me because of your selfish interest of renting for over 20 years, next shift, the people will not move on. The city will not move on. And we have been trying. Not just happening in Abuja. And people, the president has traveled so much. If we investors that the environment is conducive, we can guarantee you this, guarantee that. And you be sitting there to feel that effort because of your selfish interest. Not even.
Being the Abuja City Wall and the other side attractions kind of seems similar to things you would find in places like the Centenary City or even the Renewed Hope City that is springing up in within FC.
What is the Centenary City?
Well, I'm driving somewhere, Honorable Minister. You had mentioned that the first phase of the project will be commissioned by next year, ahead of Mr. President's 3rd year anniversary in office. How is this possible that within this short time frame?
It's a hold on, and let's ask questions. This is what you have told me. And I said, if you don't do this, it goes back. So it's not my business. My business is this our understanding that only when you give out land, like I told you, somebody took 100 hectares land for housing. Where's the housing? You give me a share for. Nothing to say, if this is not done, the land goes to. But this is how people have used the land to make money, to carry out the work itself with the government. But if say what I, today we have changed the pattern, I've changed the pattern now. People to say become what do you call food, you know, we provide infrastructure in these areas and we use the land for. We agree. Let there be proper documentation from what time to what time. Before there's nothing like it. Nobody will want. And if you have now come to say, look, this pattern must change, you need to quit it. It was not done there before. The mere fact that it was not there before does not mean it will not be here today. It's to do things that will make people think that yes, we are carrying out the right thing. And people will have confidence in you.
Honorable Minister, I still want to follow up on the issue of you said 45,000 hectares allocated to a health institution. Some thousands of hectares allocated to a health institution that you had to.
It's not the health. You get it, but it's the same of Abuja.
No, the earlier one, when you were talking about some hectares of land allocated that you had to.
Technology village. Abuja Technology Village.
Exactly. So I want to ask for an update on the 11,000 hectares of land allocated to Abuja that University of Abuja rather, that went bust recently. That's one. Two, don't you think that the level of cynicism and criticisms of your achievements, many of them lauded in Abuja, is as a result of the fact that, yes, I reckon there must be an Abuja master plan, of the fact that it is not visible. For instance, you have in Singapore, people can keep track of development. In Singapore now, people know what next government is going to do. Don't you think they should make it visible to the public, in which case they can keep track of it? They know, for instance, what's the next thing that gets on
You know, like Lagos, we're not being realistic. You know, see what I'm talking about here now. We're being theoretical. Yeah, we're having problems. Even when government has said this is a master plan, somebody comes to destroy the master plan, and you come up to us, so this cannot be. It's not to agree that what we do is the right thing. You come with that necessary religion. And this is the truth of the matter. This is the truth of the matter. That's the bit of our problem here. I think when you are here asking this question, let's have a simple truth. Assuming that the man who destroyed that master plan is from your area. You know, let us try to have a simple truth. And I come on board to say, no, this is not. To go back to what it's supposed to be. Being a journalist, he will come and meet you, see what the Wike is doing. Because he hears the Igbos, he hears the Yorubas, he hears the Hausa. Somebody whom I think should listen. Tell me the truth. Did you know the story master plan?
Yeah, but isn't it because there is no transparency?
Yes,
Nobody knows what the master plan is.
what is transparency? The master plan is a document. The master plan is a document. It's not it's not people say here's a good example. When the government comes in, or a director in the ministry, in the FCT, one way or the other, because it's game. And then, and not to you, let me tell you, this 500 hectares of land I was saying that was given to Praco was signed by a director of lands. when the minister has just gift. Well, and what did they do? They connived. They went to court without and FCT without the legal department knowing. Even if you know, they tell somebody in the legal department to go and concede to the case. You are happy.
Honorable Minister, can you just clear up this issue between the Abuja Technology Village and the Abuja City Walk?
No, there's nothing to
Or the Abuja Technology Village that's no longer
There's nothing to clear. But I'm not a non-French. That's to clear. I think the minister of the city. It's is a creator of the FCT.
Okay. So nobody is going to court
But
to stop the Abuja City Walk.
what are you going to prove? Is it him? Wait, the is who is the good village?
It's a baby of the FCT.
Don't understand.
Taking you to court. They say they've invested so much. They do have the CEO of the land. And Honorable Minister, you talk about investors.
Can I tell you, listen, I've told you here
Yes.
about what has happened in Abuja. I've told you here that for the past 20 years, that the government have provided infrastructure for people to come and invest. Do you understand? And I told you that nothing has happened. What they were doing was to cut some people, give some people rent out this and that. Is that investment that you're talking about? Is that what government will provide such level of infrastructure? And let me tell you, nobody will say gazetted by who? Who? Can you help us and give all the gazettes?
So all of that have been revoked, and the land reverted back to the
We
city.
are giving land to the investors, and investors are going to invest and build and
New investors and the Abuja City.
yeah, those who want to invest.
That's the clarification.
It does not matter anybody. I told you here that so many CFOs. Yeah, I told you this.
But is it the fault of the investors? If they are getting
Who do you pay an so you asking me, who do you pay investor? Who do you pay investor?
their money into the country,
Yes, the money for 20 years. Where's the money?
by the Abuja University of Abuja.
Hold on. So that is nothing.
Yes.
So what is investment? What if anybody comes in, you're an investor? You're an investor for 20 years. Not one block and you put in. You use that money from that to that and to that money.
What of
That makes you an investor. It's not right. Now you talk about good benefits. People should say the truth. Taking what I meant. The former minister had informed plan. The former minister. Now, you see, the problem we have, when you revoke and you don't implement, you don't understand me. Now it looks like nothing. I said, the problem is the inability of previous administrations to implement decisions they have taken. Now, let us tell ourselves the simple truth. Tell me anywhere in the world where you say in America have 11,000. Let us be reasonable. You can abuse anybody if you choose to abuse. Think about the point. Today, EFCC Academy is about the rest of Africa. Who gave them? Was anyone? If it is your property, EFCC Academy, police, their own property here. And who said this? This is a district, Giri district. No road, nothing. What the university did was to just, if you are going to the airport, from beginning down to Governor village, what they do, first, they come. Can I, people should take it easy. If the colleague that takes the question, so let the public also benefit and appreciate what is going on. What you want to do sometimes, you have to read the contract. They give you the correct money. What kind of system is this? Who of course there are institutions Here we're getting decongested. You do that. I'm not getting congested. You do that. I would like to move. Now, we said, look, 11,000 11,000 hectares. You can't. We can give you 4,000. You know what's called 4,000 hectares? I'm not talking about 4,000. Some of you who don't know that land. Not 4,000 plots. I don't know, 4,000 hectares. 1,000 square meter. I mean, 10,000 square meter gives you 1 hectare. So we talking about 4,000 hectares. 4,000. Now, you want to say, oh, there are rocks. There are people.
2,000 up to 2,000 hectares is made up of rocks and mountains.
That's right. That's why you're investing. If you have rocks, then turn it to what? Assuming they're not possible. They always plan. Let them people just come and I mean, listen where we totally like this. What you say, this is one thing I was trying to. Who will stop this? I will not be minister for forever. Do the right thing for Christ's sake. Okay. If you have a restriction and you tell me some area will have rain, and because I can't get for me, I will turn it to something like the we need money for the university. It's just that nobody wants to use this to do something. You all want, do you know what's going to happen? That's it.
So we have to go to there.
Well, it is because of you. It is because of you.
Wait, what's the phrase?
Now, when we saw this is, imagine where somebody tells you 2,000 hectares. Could it be possible?
It's a question for our audience to ponder.
Could it be possible? People just come and bring blackmail propaganda that government should not. You see, 2,000 hectares of land. How many have they developed it today? How many? And we are telling you that institutions, not F academies, the essence, it's the moving. What is, and I said, we have to do it. So this propaganda, wicked thing to do this. I will do what is right. When I leave, whoever that comes, they say, I don't want to do this now. But posterity will be, don't know what it. By the time I came, I tried to correct certain things. That's my position.
At this point, we take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation and we'll be talking politics, perhaps also finishing some other questions around the FCT. Please stay with us. Finish your thoughts on the issue of the Abuja land, the University of Abuja land. I think two people have controversy. Maybe I should put controversy at the end of that.
I wanted to ask about land titles that were revoked. The land titles that were revoked, land titles that were revoked. And I know on account of ground rent.
Just quickly, so
because of
the University of Abuja land controversy. Let them quickly finish that, and you can ask about that.
because
Minister, you had mentioned that of the revoked land, or rather within the land that is the University of Abuja, you find the EFCC Academy, you find ESS, and so many other institutions. Now, my question is, were these lands given out to them by the University of Abuja, or was it given out by the LCDA without your consent? Without your approval? Well, it's either now or before.
No. You see, what I thought you have asked, without approval of rest. But then I said, you're asking because the minister. EFCC Academy had been there before I came.
Who gave them the land?
From FCT. Because they promised, because they broke this way.
This one.
Yes, I'm going to ask you, Honorable Minister, have you decided what to do or what will become of the 7,000 you have revoked from the 11,000? I wanted the audience to find out as well.
So many things will happen between Jesus, right? And they have a place, police and but it will no longer going to be just chapter to me. It is going to be, we are planning to use it for things. How long are you going to do it? If you want to do for so long time, the line will transfer immediately. It's not going to be like give DSS 200 hectares. It remains there for donkey years. No development. Not, and then when you say it's not developed, DSS will come in when security can ready to fence up. For those steps, you need to build social theoretically and give them. Why would you develop it? 15 years time, nothing has happened. And then you say, look, we can't afford it. Police government don't break ability here. Security. That is our problem.
So quickly,
That's our
Yeah, so I was trying to ask about those land titles that were revoked, because of non-payment of grand rent. And I know that Mr. President actually gave a grace period of 2 weeks. So what next? What are you going to do next?
But you should know what it is.
Well, then Nigeria want to hear because it's more than 2 weeks. It's more than 2 weeks.
That was at last.
Yes.
Without being told. And now, it's unfortunate. And thank God, it's a one said 2 weeks, 1 month, we're more than 3 months. That's Nigeria for you.
So what has happened?
Correct. We've just finished a program of commissioning and commissioning. When I go home and sleep very well. Very soon, I'm going to seal up all those property. I'm going to seal it. See, you can't deny us of the taxes we use for development. You're talking about here now, health sector. You're talking about here, education. You're talking about what have you done in other social sectors. You have to, what are we going to do with it? With what? With what? You want this. Pay us the taxes are supposed to be paid. He said no. And you want us not to do anything. We have listened to Mr. President in his wisdom. Give them 2 weeks. Give them 1 month. We have done that. Some have complied. Some have refused to comply. Tomorrow, by the time you start doing this, of course, the normal politics will come up. Sometimes they say, well, you see, it's a political period. It's not good to antagonize voters. This and that. This is a businessman. It's not good to let investors not lose interest in investing. Kinds of things that we said. No, we will not listen to that. That in mind, if you have not paid, we are going to see it. There's no magic of talking this. You can blackmail as much as you can go to Harai, pay, stay there for how many years, but we are going to correct it. But if you like, spend all the time, let all the CSOs, civil society, let them say anything. This is what we cannot continue to allow this country. You want good thing, but you don't want to pay for it. Take for example, how many poor people live in my town? How many poor people live in Wusero? How many people? We all come up to all kinds of things. The rich man would be hire the media, hire people to go to the press to talk as if they're talking in favor of the poor people. Say accept this question. Mention how many poor people will own houses in my town here. What are we talking about? Let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. How many people have place in my town, central business area, in Wuse, in Gariki,
let me ask this quick question, sir, on the issue of sanitation in the FCT.
sanitation.
Yes.
Where's the money to pay the sanitation?
Is it more about money or mobilization?
Mobilization of what?
Mobilization of the people.
To which people?
For what? Cleaners.
Then the cleaner, who will pay them? Where's the money to pay them?
Is it a question of there's no money or a question
No.
of
Okay, no, the point I'm making is, first of all, have you asked whether the city is owing? Have you asked?
are we owing?
You don't know that we need to pay our taxes?
I did my tax. I
I didn't know you pay, but when I check the books, I know whether you pay or not. But the point I'm making, you see, it takes two to tango. The point we're making And who are these people talking? See, that's why when it says sanitation, I just wonder. The rich man who lives in Mataba wants the city to be clean. Isn't that correct? But he doesn't want to pay the land rent.
But Minister, your administration has boasted of generating a lot of money via ground rent, and even
When you say a lot of money, the problem you have, when you say a lot of money, if you pay money for 2023 and that money is used for development and cleaning of the area, does it mean you not pay for 2024? So what is enough money? What is called enough
We
money?
have a funding problem.
Define enough money. So what?
Are you saying you're having a funding problem, a money problem in the FCT?
The government has a funding problem. And that's why government blocks all loopholes. That's why in advanced countries, there is no issue of you can even go free in murder case than going free in prevention.
Yes, but truthfully,
But the point I'm making that to be fair to you, yes, what happened in terms of taxation is that we have had all these old contractors before now. As I was going on new procurement, some people don't have the capacity. You see, in terminating these jobs, it takes a process. It's just contracts are given political basis. You might be that. When you take the streets for cleaning, what is its capacity? Does it have equipment to do it? And now, by the time you go terminating, it's a process. And like I said, do you know those who are behind it? You don't know. Some of them are people who have political inflation. And, and sometimes you should be praying for people like us every day. What to see, what to pass through. We take decision to do the right thing. You see all kinds of comments from them. But you should depend to ask questions. You should take the pain to ask questions. It is not easy when you have the higher might living in a city who think that they are above the law. I just told you simple issue of freedom of faith with the international conference where people can say, yes, it's an international conference. Look at the backlash. Look at the problem.
All right. Honorable Minister, we've spent so much time on the FCT issues. Shall we discuss some little politics? First, as we'd like to have
Yes.
first shot.
Yeah, Your Excellency, sir. I don't know if you know that in today's Nigerian politics, you are seen as the archetype of the archetype, a replica of an old Roman god called um, what's his name now? Who has Janus. Janus has double face. You are a major stakeholder in the PDP. You are also working in an APC government. People are asking whether this says something loud about your political character and personal ideology. If it does, is it recommendable? Is this political character recommendable? Second, Your Excellency, is the fact that now your one of your political sidekicks, former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, recently called your party, the party where you spent several years as a major stakeholder, what do they call a carcass. Are you happy?
First of all, he has his opinion. He knows why he says it's a kickers. I have never said it's a kickers. So all I thought he should have said or find out for him was I found the reasons why he said it's a kickers. I didn't say it. So I don't know why you should ask me that question if I'm happy. No. And let me correct that question, please. Next time, don't say people say, I don't know where you are, where you met. So some people say double face. I take exception to that. Serious exception to that. We must like people who will tell you so what they will do, and they will do. I made it clear. I made it clear I was not going to support Atiku Abubakar. I did not attend their meetings. After attending their meetings, I went to do a different thing. I said for equity, finance, and justice, it is the turn of the Senate to produce the presidency of Nigeria in 2023. I never hit it. So the issue of double face does not arise. They couldn't say they saw me in their campaign, they spoke in their favor, and then I went and did a different double. So from day one, I said no. Two, and I said, I'm not going to support them. Who am I going to support in the Senate? And there are two parties, two alternative parties. You had the APC, I had the, what do you call it, what's called it now? I don't know. Okay, I can't remember some of these parties name. So this is Labour Party. And I looked at it. Who, first of all, no judgment, a man of opinion, will stand to win that election. Two, who has the capacity to take away Nigeria from where we were? That's my own judgment. I was right. And Bola Tinubu won the election because I was right and said he has the tendency that he is going to win too. Doesn't have what it takes to bring Nigeria out from where Nigeria was. So, judgment I'm right today. Now, on the issue of me looking in APC government, we forget history. Why is it that that's why I said you shouldn't have had that question? Bola Ige was a which party when he became a General Federation under Passenger. So Bola Ige had a double face.
Well, he never spoke
No.
of his party.
You know what?
He never spoke ill of the.
The people never had it.
No, it had a problem.
What was the problem? I didn't know that you were a major player. I didn't know that you were a major
I
player.
reported the activities.
No, see, that is the problem. When once you pitch your tent, you don't want to put out yourself. You don't want to put out yourself. And our questions mostly are based on where your interest lies, which is not correct. Which is not correct. What's the problem in PDP? If you are saying that, look, you're no political party. You're not supposed to be the one to put your house in order to fight the ruling party. And when you say put your house together, you are being accused. If you're not, it's okay. What is happening in PDP to do? Have I not predicted it before? So what is associating that if I'm telling you, look, if you don't do this, say what's going to happen. It's not in your plan to say, let's just put so that this will happen.
Okay, Honorable Minister, let's talk about those predictions that you made. You insisted that Senator Sam Anyanwu would be the national secretary of your party. Today he is.
Do not insist. I take the law to obey.
Well, he is.
So everything is the one I insist.
Minister, you also said you were going to remain in the PDP and fight it to the end. Today, you are still a member of the PDP. Those you describe as buccaneers and vampires, you say have left your party.
Yes.
And there have been defections. Now, do you think that your party is out of the woods? Is the crisis over? Especially when the President Bola Tinubu, continues to infer to your party as the sinking ship.
He's entitled to. Just like I'm entitled to say it and make it. No, but let us get it clear. I never insisted that Samayan was me. I insisted that the right thing was making. If the right thing to be done is as Samayan should be, if it's here in open road insisted, if the law takes place, so be it. And the law has taken place. I don't know the second professor said I did.
And you remain in the PDP, you will not defect, then it's
I want to remain in PDP, which I'll say in PDP. And that's what I said. The right thing was the deed. I will not leave this party, which I have done everything for the buccaneers and vampires. If I had lost the party, the Buccaneers and Vampires would have remained in PDP to go and collect ticket.
Is the crisis over?
Well, it is over for now. Because there are still some things remaining, which I've told you was true. One is our South Zonal Congress that was held must be upheld. There's no two ways of it. Like when we were doing a South Zonal Congress, the National China claimed that the PDP governors were not in support of that Zonal Congress. Where are the PDP governors now? Where are they?
So, Honorable,
The Congress is held in Canada, and there's nothing anybody can tell us. If they want another round of crisis, so be it. The Congress must be the chief that will be emerged, and the national vice chairman, the Congress, the court allowed him for the Congress to hold. Congress was held. The so-called international chairman of the party went and wrote a letter to INEC. Congress was held on Saturday. Say, for example, on the 5th. And he wrote a letter on the 8th, for example. Congress has been postponed. Something was held on the 5th. And the 8th, it was postponed. So there are two ways about it. The national vice chairman, if PDP, SALSA, is still being big. If they don't agree, that's another round of crisis. Two, the second is Congress, which they produce, I know, they've not start. Therefore, the king from is no longer a member of the party. You cannot. You cannot. You see, these are the things I tell people that what I don't like is impunity. Is impunity. And for somebody like me, we will not condone it. I will not allow it. We won't fight it except that they correct it. They said I go for the convention.
Their convention? Are you not part of it?
yeah, the
They
convention.
have not calculated it.
The convention is in November.
It's in November.
But
Let us this issue
let us
that time.
let us wait. Let the matter first of all. We sit down for them to resolve it. Before we talk about the convention. Resolve the matter. Resolve the matter. If the matter is not resolved, that's the crisis.
Okay, sir. Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Minister, how do you see the opposition coalition? Like the coalition? Yes, the coalition. Should I venture the name of the party? The ADC.
Listen. If you say this is how ADC,
ADC.
how is it a coalition? What makes them coalition? What's the coalition?
So what's the intention of
So, a lot of people
So how do you see this will they be able to survive even next year?
their political nature are known for the campaign going from one party to the other. So every political period you do coalition. Every political period you do a coalition. Every political period you do coalition. Which you see, if you say some people have joined ADC, it's okay. It's not the first time they have joined you. Take for example, it's in their bloodstream that this is what they want. That you can't change it. Atiku was in PDP in 1999. You forgot?
No.
You forgot?
No.
Under Passenger have problem with me. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Later you joined who?
yes.
AC.
Yes.
Which AC was controlled by who? It's controlled by who? Not by the president. First, speak out.
We're asking for
You know, now, come to him. After AC came back to PDP. It's not correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not correct? He moved again to APC. It's not correct. From APC again, he came back to PDP. It's not correct. Is that not correct? He used to get presidential ticket every time. Then, from PDP now, he has got away again.
ADC.
Hey. So, you see, tell you, you tell, I don't know, if I'm his son, I was sitting down. I said, that is I mean, for whatever it wants. It's just, how can you tell me as your son, you have made this history of jumping from one party to almost 80 something years? Wow.
Because they want to rescue Nigeria.
Hold on, rescue what? Who has signed? You are VP for 8 years. You are VP for 8 years. You are retired on another economic council. What happened?
Honorable Minister, your ground seems to be with the former Vice President.
No.
Are you undermining?
No. Allow me.
Yes.
I want the viewers.
Yes.
So you ask. So you are talking about coalition. I said you take coalition because when I move from one party to the other, that means coalition.
You have only taken one person.
I'm just explaining. I will take another party.
Are you undermining the group of people who have left? Don't forget that members of the APC have also left. Some people have left the APC and are also a part of this ADC party.
What we are saying, look at our political history. Even leave one party to the other party. It does not mean coalition.
When they're from multiple parties?
Which one? Listen, PDP. Some people left other parties and joined PDP. Some people left PDP and joined the APC. Some people are not even APC because of one interest or the way. What are you doing coalition for? Just the rescue.
If it's not a coalition, what would you call it?
And you are the one who gave them. I said people join a party. People join what they want party they call ADC. Let me tell you what they have to do. It is difficult now for them to have it in PDP. What this has to do with presidential ambition? Can I get my ticket? The way PDP is now, it's not likely that Atiku will get ticket. Therefore, he goes to tell you, let's do coalition against PDP. It's not correct. It is because he cannot get the presidential ticket under PDP.
What do we say about Senator David Mark?
To do what?
Senator David Mark, who left the PDP, who has been in the PDP since its inception.
When we started having this issue of national chairman in the center, there was pressure that the man could be the national chairman. We refused. Yes.
Why?
No, we refused. What change will he bring to the party? I've been the was Senate president. He was the Senate president for 8 years. What are the things that happen? What is improvement? I have told you here, I prefer somebody who has not had any position, who has come to tell me that, look, I'm doing this because this government, I want to help for a change, to achieve this and that. I will not listen to anybody who has been in power for 10 years, who has refused to put anything to the development of the country. Now you come now to tell me this story, that look, we need to rescue this country. You were there, the country was sinking. You didn't rescue.
Minister, earlier when you were talking about the 2023 general elections, you wanted to talk about Labour Party, and you said that you hardly remember such names. However, in the last 4 weeks, we have seen you meet with top political generals and lieutenants in Nigeria's political landscape, talking about the Labour Party chairman, Julius Abure, the Delta State governor, the Enugu State governor. Is there anything brewing that you might want to let us know, perhaps politically, or is it just a shared camaraderie with them?
Meeting that governor. I never met with any governor. Please. So I get your facts right. I met with the Edo State. I met with the Ebonyi State governor. I met with Kogi State governor. So when you say I don't remember these parties, they are not parties. so that the public will not say, I don't remember the names of these people. So that, what I mean, well, there are two parties there that have made choice. Since I was not going to support
Okay.
Atiku,
Okay.
the problems we have, you people wait in this question, and will ask questions that people will fully, and before they go home now, and they begin to interpret. Governors came to me, they're my friends. We relate. I was a governor. They asked me questions, and I also asked them questions. How are you doing this? How are you doing it? When you were there, how did you do this? Now, he said, Abubakar. Of course, he's a politician. I'm a politician. What's wrong when politicians meet themselves? Just like you journalists you meet. Is there any crime that you meet?
So there's no political undertone to it ahead of 2027 general elections.
To
The meeting.
I want to tell you what I'm planning till 2027.
So you are planning something.
Well, I'm not a politician. But why should I come and let you know what I'm doing? What did the time
The
cost?
political interpretation to that meeting outside
Yes.
is that you are probably the hand that is stoking Julius Abure's confrontation or disagreement or dispute, if you prefer, with the candidate of the party, the Labour Party. Yes, and you are the one stoking that crisis between the two of them.
So what's the talking about state? So I don't understand. Anyway, I'm not here to help anybody who's my opponent. If they're having problems, it's my prayer that they should continue to have a problem. Do you help your political opponent?
The split up into well.
Do you help?
They're not politicians, Honorable Minister. Journalists.
And journalists cooperate, but we don't know about politicians.
You work with children and you do this. We want to clear it, but I didn't.
Let's not go there.
Every matter that we work with teachers.
Really.
Yes.
Interesting. But Honorable Minister, let's go to your home state of Rivers.
Yeah.
We saw this reconciliation between yourself and the suspended Governor Fubara. And a lot of people had hoped that in the spirit of reconciliation and goodwill, especially since this peace was brokered by the president, that by now we would have seen the lifting of the suspension and perhaps a reinstatement of Governor Fubara. Is there any conversation going on in that regard?
What of those who declare themselves leaders?
Aren't you curious as to what exactly is delaying the restoration of democratic governance back in River State?
But the process now to restore democratic governance. Is it not? Is it not?
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Well, you see, I've never seen people who are with people who have made peace. Means that when the governor comes back, the peace will continue. The whole thing you're talking about is not just about government. It has to do with the entire system. You need to heal once. And the governor has not come to tell you here that it's not comfortable with it. We have to let the governor say, look, that he, the people did not declare so of emergency, then he would have been impeached. So what does it tell you? I'm comfortable that happened, so that we would have all made peace. And the time will come, we all work as a team. Do you want to rush just because you want the governor, and at the end of the day, you have not made any peace? And today, they are start taking to restore democratic governance, at least in the local list.
Let's talk about that. Your party, the PDP, had primaries to pick candidates for the local government election that is about it now. My findings reveal something very curious, which is this kind of alliance between the PDP and the APC not to oppose each other. I'm telling you what I found out.
You're telling me the first
I know you know. Okay, let me put the question. Let me put the question and then you tell me if it is not correct. Okay. What I gather is that in most local governments, there's that working alliance between the PDP and the APC. where the chairmanship candidate is on the platform of the PDP, the vice chairman will be from the APC. And if it's from the APC, the vice chairman will be from the PDP. And that was what happened in all the local governments because your party, the PDP, and your other party, the APC, are in alignment. Statement. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. The party that you are, in which you are a minister, the APC.
Not a minister in APC.
APC government. Fine. So is that part of the peace that we're likely to see, the larger peace that we're likely to see in River State that is world politics public?
Frankly speaking, you are the one telling me this now.
Really?
I say you're the one telling me this. You are not giving me the names of who is the chairmanship here. You have not told me anything. What is the man? If PDP is the chairmanship candidate, the PC is man. Give me an example. Say this local government. Say this local government. What do you want?
That's your local government.
Yes. Yes.
You were there. You attended the party primary.
The PDP candidate.
The APC did hold the primary.
I know. Listen, why not be patient for listen to publish those who are participating, those who are not, and before you jump to conclusion. Now, consuming do not consider that what you say here is an alliance. What's wrong an alliance that will bring peace in a state? Consuming do not consider. What do you not why you'll be having problems?
No.
Assuming that is even the arrangement. Would you not be happy for once? Politicians can sit to say, look, let us not do first. Only you. Only takes it. So look, this is our state.
You just ask that question.
Is that assuming do not consenting? Assuming
So don't believe that is what
it's a simple English. I said, assuming what they did is correct.
That not possible.
Consider to them, they're not aware. I said, assuming what they did, as they are saying is correct. Will you not even be happy that it's taking them to you to advise for that to regulate?
And
This if they discuss, I thought you should have said, if it's correct, then encourage them. Not aware.
Minister, if this were to be correct, like you had pointed out, this gentleman agreement between the PDP and the APC, from your standpoint, will it be beneficial or detrimental to the people of River State?
The people say this is what they want. This is what to benefit them. They have, if that's what they have chosen. Of course.
Is it the people or the politicians now?
But it's just not people.
Well, they stand on different. They stand on different bases.
You make fundamental errors. You remember that when they say people, they are leaders of the people. Wait. In your family, for example, probably your family listen to you. Is that not correct? Is that not correct?
That's correct.
You have family meetings. They say they look up to you. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
So if you take a decision, it means to be beneficial for our people. So most of you think that teachers don't come from anywhere. We have a hope, a village. I'm not from a community. I come from. Do you know if I go home, people come to ask me, what is our position? What do we do as regards to this? And I prefer what this is my own thinking.
That's you, but can you really speak for all politicians who get into office and alienate themselves from the people? But my question really is still on local government elections. There are those who say, should the election go ahead as announced by RISEC, it will be a recipe for litigation for so many reasons. One, they say it is holding under a state of emergency, which is an anomaly. They also say the notice of election does not meet the statutory 90 days. It is 21 days. Are you not concerned? Plus, they also say, following my colleague, there's a pattern that has also emerged that your loyalists are emerging as the candidates of the chairmanship. It does look like your structure is back in place. What do you say to people like this?
Let me not go for that question you ask. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You know the problem I have in this country? People are used to television advocates. With all due respect, where you advocate law, it's not on television, it's in the courtroom. When the state of emergency was declared, they said it was illegal. How many of them have pursued the case till today?
Your party has.
Where is it? Have they pursued it? Have they pursued the case?
At the Supreme Court,
Have they pursued the case? Filing the matter for people to say we have filed a matter does not mean I want to pursue the matter. With all due respect to you, it's a threat to the country. With all due respect. But let me come to the moment. Let me quoting Supreme Court judgment. Who went to court over the Supreme Court judgment? It was we. When we went to court, people advocated on television. When the judge gave that judgment, the election should not hope because it don't mean requirement. You came out on television and in the judge, and the judge took yes. The wrong petition and the judge. The matter went to private play. Appeal, one judge, and the matter went to Supreme Court. The last court of law made a pronouncement and said the judgment of the lower court is was right. That had become the result. Isn't it? So you have to put it, then put it, and scrutiny it. Then during that matter, what was the opposition report? Let me move from. He said, an emergency is an abbreviation. Like the law. The law knows of a period of an emergency situation. The emergency act of 1961. Not section of that provides that every emergency, and then the governor general was not president, governor general. Now you remember, the 1999 constitution gives the president the power to modify law of colonial period or even the military. And so for in 2000, under President Obasanjo, he got the modification law of 2004 under the Emergency Act. Retain those provisions. But under the emergency rule, the president must respond, modify. The president can modify, suspend, suppress personnel, and allow the president to make a regulation regarding the documents in the emergency areas. And that was why the President Bill Tinubu, based on the modification of 2004, made an ambassador. Now made the regulation. The first regulation, what you call emergency to conduct local government election, was made in June. No May, but was happened in June, where the president said, emergency to conduct local government election. And to bring back democratic structures, the further emergency in, but the need to suspend or modify the application of the of 2022, the application of the local government, the River State Local Government Independent Law, the River State Independent, River State Local Government Law, and the River State Local Government Election Tribunal Law. And gave 90 days until when the election should be conducted. They wanted to bring back democratic structures. And it is only in the local government that there is no democratic structure, which was modified by the Supreme Court. Now, when you now say emergency, they have no power to conduct election. How could anybody say so? You remember, the Supreme Court said, where there's no local government, they cannot get access to the House of Federation account.
Yes.
And no governor can set up caretaker committee. Is it not correct?
Yes.
Because of emergency, which is not was set aside, was cut at the bands. The local government, that's the person that appointed, so let me say. The next thing the Supreme Court said, because we have no project for the state government, they cannot have access to federation account. In assuming the emergency rule, would local government have access funds today? Would the state have access funds today? Certainly. So the access of the emergency rule becomes imperative.
I'm just conscious of time.
No,
Well, no.
that's a trick of your time. Now, the president and his wisdom to bring peace has restored democratic governance in local government. Came again with another regulation, which was signed in July. This election must be conducted within 30 days because the president, from my understanding, does not want to extend the emergency rule. Because extending the emergency rule will not be palatable to the people. But then, if you take the local government election and then you leave the emergency rule, how will local government not access funds? And when the governor cannot appoint caretaker based on Supreme Court judgment, and they cannot get money, is that not crisis in the local government? Is that a crisis? Yes, we don't want this crisis again. When you are here now, in this edition, that the democratic structure in the local government. As this emergency rule can then let the governor tax, the assembly tax, assembly tax, and then the take of the state. Then the democratic structure in local government. Then they will have access to their funds. If you go to the election now, the governor tax, the governor will give notice of any day, the Supreme Court judgment. Because you give notice of 1 year, you cannot sit my caretaker committee. You cannot have access information what happens in the
Well, that's not all of it. Sorry.
who should see, who should if you don't have an idea. You give no election. People watch it every day. Okay, what more challenges? You challenges. The emergency rule allows the president to make regulation, allows the president to suspend and modify some aspects of the law. And that's what they have done.
Well,
And suspending some aspects is the Electoral Act of 2022, which has the pen.
all right. Honorable Minister, our time is fast spent. We have just about 3 minutes. You have not hidden your admiration for President Tinubu. 2027 will soon be around the corner.
Yes.
Should the president still come from the south?
It depends on where.
Last stage, it showed.
Position and our position.
So the question is, how fundamental is that? Because if your party, one of the reasons why you were angry with your party was because it went to the north. It went to a northern candidate. They threw it open. They didn't do it anyway. Now your party, you say things are beginning to settle there. If indeed, or when indeed they settle properly, and it's only to the south, will you be supporting a southern candidate from your party?
No,
Will you still be supporting President Bola?
No, this you would have asked me. Why do I think I will continue to support President Tinubu? It's not a quick question. Let me tell you. I presented a paper in Abafuma University. And I did say, the brain of our problem majorly is leadership. When you get the right leadership, things are going to change. If you bring somebody from the south, and I know it does not have the leadership qualities, for example, every president in this country, 1999, they almost said that oil subsidies is scam. I believe so. In fact, you see, we need to stop. What do we do? You know,
President Jonathan will.
I'm gonna, you know, you don't know if I do it now, if I don't do it now. Nobody was able to do it. Nobody. The day the man was sworn in, he didn't go to his office first before he took that decision.
Yeah, but you just heard President Jonathan did. And it was in the cabinet you served. President Goodluck Jonathan did, and there were protests. And then he returned.
Protest. There are protests in this. Is there a protest in this? Has he not been able to solve the problem?
Were they as strong as
It is not.
organized
How do I know?
President Goodluck?
How do I know?
Minister.
You are a minister.
I'm talking about, see, let me tell you, leadership. If you want to do something, let me tell you, don't do haphazard. If you know that, not temporarily, not small. Look, the president said, I'm going to do this. He knows that way villages. He knows that way. I can't do the package. Listen, I'm going to do it. For a short time, we'll suffer it. When the long run, you're going to benefit. Today, look at the money each state is getting. Before, it was not. Taking that booster, people suffered for it at the initial time, but we're coming to, stay with it and things are beginning to change. That's what leadership is all about.
So regardless of who your party feels, you're going to be supporting.
So if you now feel an entity,
I'm just asking. What if they feel somebody who can
because I'm a PDP. You now be somebody I know. I'm not even say anything.
Even if it's your friend.
It's
That's your party.
listen, so
everybody.
Student on it.
let me tell you, first of all, do the right thing. Bring back the national vice chairman in the South Side. That's one. Before we talk about it. But these are people who also participate in that convention. If you deny my vote to participate in national convention, you'll not be happy.
But everybody, so we have to go. It's always tidy to end and land, softly rather than being yanked up. So in order to prevent being yanked up, we just have to end it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, my colleagues. Festus, I didn't know. Thank you so much. And of course, Obosua.
They saw more, right? Thank you.
Super James. Super James.
Yeah. Chijoke.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
use of channel television.
It's my pleasure. The questions doesn't fall in, but we just have to end this show. Probably look forward to the next edition. Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate your time. That's how we drop the anchor on today's edition of Media Chat with the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, His Excellency Yeso.